Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. I've got your March 2024 kit. Sincerely Yours is the name of this collection. I'm going to show you some of the elements in here. You get some word dies, there are some embellishments, there is ribbon, these cute little die cut word stickers, and of course there's going to be a paper pad, this beautiful pixie ribbon, little felt kind of bows. And then there is this awesome A1 side butterfly fold it. And let me show you, you get envelopes, and then you also get a storage envelope in each box of the card kit. And I'm going to pull out the paper here so we can see what color palette we're going to be working with this month. So we've got some powdered sugar. There is, I think that's kiwi, a light green. We've got pool, lemonade, and pixie and razzleberry. So some beautiful, beautiful colors for spring. And here is the paper pad. I'm going to show you that. So it's 24 pages. It's got the colors that are used, all about these beautiful butterflies. So they're the beautiful butterflies is the club set this month. You can see I've shown you the stamp set and the die set. So if you're a die-hard member, you get the stamps and the dies, and you can use these dies to cut out the card kit patterned paper. So I'm just showing you the outlines of this. We'll cut out these beautiful butterflies. It's an appropriate name for them, and they're really fun. They're already pre-printed. And then there's a second page of the eyelet butterflies. If you have that die set, you can use that to cut out those butterflies as well. So you can see a lot of fun patterns in here, and then it will repeat again. So that is the paper pad. All right, so I'm going to jump right in here. I am going to use the handle box, I think is the name of this. I've had this for a really long time, and I ran 2 pieces of that pattern paper that says Sincerely Yours on there to create my box. And I've just got a little tape on there, and so I'm just peeling that off. But this has been a long time favorite. This and the pillow box are 2 of my all-time favorite dies from Stamps of Life. I've had them a long time, and they have saved me many times when I have needed a little gift holder. I love to give gift cards, but I like to have a presentation with them, and so these products are ones that allow me to do that, and I can customize them to any occasion and for whomever I want to make them for. So I love the versatility of that. So I've cut 2 of these, and I'm gluing the tabs together. These couldn't go together any easier since they're both the same. And then I'm going to glue those together, and then let that dry really well. Or if you're using some tape, some like red line tape, that's fine. But if you're using liquid glue, you want to make sure that your seams adhere really, really well. And then I'm going to put this box together. It's been a minute since I've put one of these together, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to glue it in and tape it down, or put the little tabs in. But this one, I'm just going to glue the bottom. Some of the boxes have the little tabs that pop in, and I don't think, but this one is not one that does that. So you just seal that up. And then I'm going to use some blocks here to hold that bottom tight while the glue adheres. So that's a great way to use your blocks if you want to have them lying around in your craft stash. So while that's drying, I'm going to pick out a butterfly that I want to use. So there are these 3 different shapes of the butterflies. And then I'm looking to see, I want to stamp a little something on the back of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the largest die from the Beautiful Butterflies die set, and I am going to cut that out of this beautiful yellow. And then I'm going to pick another one of the pre-printed butterflies to adhere it. So then I can stamp on the back of there, because the back of the little pre-printed one is pretty dark. It's that darker color, like pansy, I think it is. You can see. So I could heat emboss on there if I wanted to, but I just decided that I wanted to stamp. And so I'm just going to stamp thank you on the back of this. So I could use this little tag. I'm going to make a tag out of this to add to my box. And so I've got thank you there. And then I will adhere the 2 of them together. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue and press these two together, and they're going to fit really well. And then I've got a fun little tag, fun little element there. So cute. I love the color palette too. So I've got my little hole punch here, and then I'm just going to punch a little section of the wing. And once my box is dry, I can put it together. So I need to fold this down. So take your time. I was kind of in a hurry, so I was kind of forgetting to fold some of it. And then I was like, oh wait, I forgot a piece here and I forgot a piece there. And so you'll want to fold down all of the edges that need to go down. So I need to finish folding my pieces. There's one right there. Okay. And so cute. Super cute. And then I'm going to use some ribbon here to thread through. There's this beautiful pixie ribbon included in the card kit this month. And I'm going to thread this through and tie this onto my box. So cute. And then I'm just going to do a little bow, simple bow, so the recipient can easily undo it and get whatever goodie I'm going to put in there. If it's money or a gift card or maybe some little treats, little spring treats. I think so I kind of got going on this with thinking about like a spring party or a tea time or something. I was definitely feeling that vibe today when I was working with this box. I love butterflies. I have a deep obsession with butterflies. Where we live, about 40 minutes from us, is Callaway Gardens, and they have a beautiful butterfly gazebo, and so we go often, probably at least once or twice a month in the spring, and see the butterflies. And the blue morphos there are my absolute favorite, but they have a lot of other beautiful ones too. So anyway, so I'm very obsessed with butterflies. So when I saw this card kit, I was like, okay, let me get back to the project. So I have cut from a piece of glitter paper the beautiful butterfly, the front of it, I should say. So this is the half butterfly, but I am going to make a box out of it. And what I'm doing here is I'm using the box it die. So there's the box it die, and then there's a smaller box it die. And if you've watched any of my Stamps of Life videos, you've probably seen the box it die appear a couple of times. I love that die as well. And so, especially on these fold-its, you can make cute little boxes with them. So I'm going to I've cut the front piece with the glitter piece, and then I'm going to cut the back piece for it. I'm just using my Kiwi cardstock. And you can see it has all of these edges that fold down. Everything is scored and cut to perfection. I'm going to attach my butterfly using some adhesive, and I'm just going to put a piece of paper down because I'll probably go outside of there. You could have used some liquid adhesive too, but I'm just going to use some dry adhesive on this application. And then I can stick this onto, I almost stick it onto the wrong piece of paper. I cut this pattern piece of paper that I wanted to use for the front of my box. So cute. I'm going to leave the little antenna kind of sticking up off of there for a little bit of interest. So now I go back to my box it part. And this is a little bit of a different shape. And so I've got to kind of figure out how I'm going to make this stand up because I want my little box to sit up. So initially I think, I'm going to turn on my side. I am going to trim down one end of each piece. So that's another thing I love about this die is you can really customize it to the size of the folded or, shaped thing you're using. And so I'm going to add some liquid glue here, and then I'm being very generous with it. And I'm going to add this to the back of my box. And I'm trying to figure out here where I want this to go. And it's just not going to work and sit up. There's too much space on the bottom. So I'm going to peel that off, and then I'm going to turn it so the butterfly will be on its side, just like it is, kind of intended to be. And so I can see that is the sweet spot to get this to stand up the way that I want it to. So I'm going to use my bone folder here. Takes a second, and I'm working quickly here, but you want to let that dry really well, and then you can add the other part of the butterfly, the back of it, the box. And so I'm going to flip this around, and I'm going to kind of come over the top of my box. You'll see I kind of come in the picture a little bit. I got to lean over so I can kind of line up the two pieces together. And then when I get it, I can start placing my bone folder there to get my tabs where I want it to be. And I'm trying to show you, so the box is moving a little bit on me, and I'm going to have to kind of stick that back down there. But I wanted you to see what I was doing there. And so you can see I'm pressing that down, and again, I'm going to let that dry really well. And look how cute that is. So again, back to the whole spring party theme. I was like, oh, okay. I kind of felt like I wanted to make all of these box sets and these cute things that you could use for a tea party or a spring party or, graduation or some kind of celebration in the spring. So that's where I was going with a lot of the elements in this video. A lot more of the interactive products than just cards in this one. Now here is the smaller box set die, and I am going to pull out some of these pre-printed butterflies. I'm trying to pick which one I want to do. I was wondering if I could do the tiny half one, but it was just too small. And so again, this one I can make it work, but I'm going to trim it down a little bit, and it's going to show a little bit of the box in this one because I've got two wings. And so there just wasn't a way without trimming the wings down to get it to stand up. So you'll see a little bit of the box behind. And I did use the deeper purple because I wanted you to see that. I'm going to use the lighter purple for the back. So if you want to make it all a lighter purple to coordinate with the front of your patterned butterfly, you could. And I'm just going to match these up, and then again I'm going to stamp a thank you. So you could do like a fun little party and add these little elements onto your boxes for maybe a little treat. You could put it at somebody's seat and put a little treat in there. You could put a little note in there. I just love doing little things like that. So I'm going to put this at the bottom, and you'll see that it's going to show a little bit in the front, but that's okay because that's the only way you can get it to really stand up. So I'm just manipulating this here and getting it to the part. It needs to be far enough down, and I'm trying to get it exactly where I want it to go. And so I'm going to just add some more glue because I put too much glue on there. And then I didn't get it exactly where I wanted it to go. So now I'm just going to come a little lower on the back of my butterfly die cut. And then I find, again, the sweet spot that's going to work, hopefully, to stand up. So I've let that dry, and now I'm going to add the back of my butterfly to complete my box. So again, you can see I've got a little too much glue there, so I'm just going to smush that off. And then I'm going to come over here on top, over above the box to get it where I want it to be. And this one you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. And I'm just trying to get those into position, the little tabs. Okay. And then again, broken record here, but let it dry. So it doesn't come apart on you completely. But look how cute that is. So you could put some little candies in there, and you've got the little thank you on there on the back. Super sweet. So I am going to make a couple of cards in this video. I have done the same thing, except I cut the shadow part, the base part of the fold it. I used glitter paper, and then I adhered a white butterfly on the top. I've got these cute stickers that I want to use. I know I want to use this hello because I think it will fit really well on my card front. I've got a piece of that pattern paper with the kind of little whirly, twirly lines. I was trying to think that are fun because they kind of add movement to your card. And but the hello is really going to wash out against that pink. It's not bright enough. And so I'm going to solve that problem by adding a little strip of the same yellow cardstock, that lemonade. I think it's lemonade. And I'm going to add the hello to my yellow piece. And then I'll trim that down using my little cutter. And then I can add that to my card front to send a hello wish to somebody. So very, very cute. Love the stickers. I love that font. I would really love to see some dies from Stamps of Life in that font. That's kind of a newer font to me. Really, really like that. Okay, so I'm just going to place this down in the corner, and then I can pop up my butterfly. So I've got my foam adhesive sheet here that I love and use all the time from Stamps of Life, and I'm getting very low on it. So I'm really having to conserve because I can't be without it. and so I have to just kind of hold on to every little scrap. So I've got a little container that has all these little tiny pieces, and I will use every one of them because I don't want to lose them. So I'll hold on to them. Now I'm going to add some glue to the back of this card, and then this will be layered onto a piece of the yellow. And then I've got a blue card base, which this is Pool. And again, A2 sized card. So I did make a card in this video to go with all of my other little elements that I've made so far. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up. And how beautiful is that sweet butterfly. Got some gemstones here that I'm just going to kind of lay around. I'm going to use 3 of those. And then when I get them where I want them, I'll press down and make sure they're adhered well. I did want to show you the inside. I stamped a sentiment, and on some white cardstock, I'm just going to add that, wishing you a day filled with butterflies and smiles. What can be better than that? And then I'm going to use one of the little pre-printed butterflies that I have to pop into my card, just to tie that all together. Okay, so I am going to make another card, and I am going to use, this is I think it's called the beach background, and I'm using some of my tricolor markers, the aqua markers. So I die cut this background because it's a die cut, and it kind of puts these little score marks, or they're almost cut through, so you could paper piece this together if you wanted to, but instead of cutting pieces apart, I'm just going to use the colors that I have, my inks, and I'm going to watercolor with this. So I did do this onto watercolor paper, so I would get some nice color with there. And I'm just adding, I'll link, I don't know exactly which ones I used. I think that Stamps of Life sells 3 or 4 packets or so, or packs of the markers, of these markers, and so I'll link them in the description. I think they're in the store. And so I'm just going back and forth. I've got a little scrap of watercolor paper here. I'm trying to see what the colors are. And then I'm using a piece of acetate to the left to scribble down some color, and then I can pick it up with my watercolor brush. So some of it I'm applying directly, and then some of it I'm using by adding it to my creating my little palette there to the left. And then I'm going to come back with some darker colors here and add a little bit of color into there. And now I can work on my beach background. And when I find the color that I like, then I can add that using my water brush onto this panel. But you do need to use watercolor paper. I find that it's really hard to watercolor if you're not using watercolor paper. You can make it work, but the way that watercolor reacts, it just kind of shreds your paper, it wets the fibers, and it's just, regular paper is just not made to be watercolored on. And then I'm using this one, and I just scribbled directly onto there because I wanted to keep some of the lines. It's a little hard to see it in the video, but there's still kind of some texture because I wanted to make that kind of my beach section. And so I left that with a little texture. And now I'm going to work on my sunset here. I've got this kind of yellow, and then there's an sort of an orange, pinkish red, and so I'm just going to add a little bit more color here. And I'm using a little bit of a paper towel to keep my water flow under control, so hopefully I won't get water all over everywhere. And I love these little brushes because they really help you control how much water goes onto there, because if you saturate it too much, even on watercolor paper, you can get into some kind of moving of the color and too much blending together. So I'm just taking my time here. And I think this is the first time I've used this background, and I love it. Oh my goodness. I'm going back here with just a little bit more green, a different shade of green, trying to darken that up a little bit. And then when I get that where I want it to be, I'm going to let that dry. And here is the finished product. I stamped "Wishing You a Day Filled with Butterflies and Smiles." And I'm just going to take care here to add my adhesive because, again, you can see it's cut to where you could paper piece it together. So if you wanted to nip out, part of the beach or the tree, you can change some colors if you didn't want a watercolor like this. But I just wanted to see how it would turn out, and I'm pretty pleased with the way that it looks, and it's just a lot of fun. I love to watercolor because it's very forgiving, and it's just kind of a fun way to use some of these products. I'm going to add this to a white card base because I really don't want to take away from the panel. I really want it to be my front and center, but I am going to add some butterflies to it for sure. So I've got a few more of these pre-printed ones. I've got some more of that foam adhesive here that I'm going to add to the back, and I will add a little trio of butterflies. So I'm going to put the largest one at the front, and then I will work my way down in size. So out in distance, things would look smaller. I really wanted to put a little tiny dolphin out there, and I think there might be one in that icon set. It's a newer icon set, but I don't have that. It sold out before I got it, but I really wanted to put a tiny little dolphin out there because I'm obsessed with dolphins too. Butterflies and dolphins are my thing. But I didn't have one. So if I'd had one, I would have added a teeny tiny dolphin out there. And so I'm going to add one more butterfly up here who's resting on the tree in the distance. And there you go. Once I get them where I can't decide where I want them to go. Do I want him to go up high? Do I want him to go down low? Where is he going to sit in the tree? So then I just finally make a decision and press it down. And there we go. And that is this card with that beautiful watercolored background. All right, so I'm using the horizontal stage card die set. I wanted to try this out. This is a newer to me product, and I have cut the back of it from Pixie, and then I'm using a piece of that pattern paper, and I've cut this. This die set has all the dies that you need for layering. And so I'm going to add these to cut two smaller of the pieces, and then there's a larger one. So I cut two of these smaller ones, as you can see, they're the same size, and then there's a larger one, which is going to be at the back of my card. So cute. And I have all these butterflies that I want to use. And this came together really pretty easy. So you're going to fold these two tabs back, and then you can just adhere it to one side, and then you can press it down onto the other side. And then you have the beginnings of this cute interactive card, but it will lay flat too for mailing, which is awesome. And so I will press that side down, and again, be sure and let things dry. Okay, I'm going to do these two tabs here. I'm going to kind of work my way down a little bit. So I'm just kind of seeing where they're going to go, so that I can stagger the little butterflies that I want to put in there. How cute. Super, super cute. And again, look at how it folds. It's just great. And then here is my last piece right here. And I'm going to add a little bit more adhesive, and I will lay that down. I'm going to do it fairly close to the bottom. I'm not going to do it exactly flat to the bottom because I just don't think it's really necessary, but you can layer yours up however you want to. You could do more layers or less layers. It's up to you. Okay. All right. So I've let that dry really well, and I've got this really cute card. Now I'm going to take some of these butterflies and lay them out and see where I want them to go. And I've got that big one with the blue, which is really, really pretty. And then I was thinking about putting the little sticker in the back, the spring, but it was just a little too large. The word, and so I'm going to change that a little bit. So I've got my butterflies where I want them to go, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to kind of the bottom half of the butterfly, so it will stick, but it won't stick to the back of it when you press it down. So you don't want to add too much glue. You want them to move around and be not stuck down to your image. So I've got the high that is included in that stamp set, the beautiful butterflies, and I'm just gonna, I've kind of pushed down my card so I can see where those butterflies are going to be, and I'm gonna stamp the word high in black ink so it will show up on there. And then I will add one more little butterfly to finish off. There's just a little bit too much space, a little uneven there, and that just helps balance out my box. So how cute. Just using those pre-printed butterflies. Now I added one extra step. I cut that layering piece again for the back, and I stamped that same great sentiment, wishing you a day filled with butterflies and smiles. So you could use that for birthday, or you could just use that I'm thinking of you. And then I had a little bit of this extra butterfly die cut from the die set. I had this little butterfly that layers on top of the blue, and so I'm going to add that to the bottom of my card. So I've been playing a little bit with the die cutting that is included in the Beautiful Butterflies set as well. There's a layering die, which is a lot of fun. And then I will add that onto there, and there's that cute card. Super, super cute, fun, interactive card that lays flat. Okay, so here is my springtime butterfly suite, I'm going to say. Here's that card using the fabulous A1 Fold It. Here is the watercolored background one with those sweet butterflies. Here is my box, my little handle box that's got a sweet tag saying thank you. And then my little Fold-Its, the used turned into the box-it. So super, super cute. And then we can't forget the interactive little folding card with another box full of butterflies. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Leave me a comment. Let me know which project you liked best and why. And thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in the card kit or any of the clubs at Stamps of Life, check out the details in the description and leave me any questions you have about it. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.